What's the biggest difference between personality and EQ?
EQ is much more malleable, which means we can change it. When we find someone's personality, you're going to be an introvert or extrovert, you're going to be honest, conscientious, whatever that personality characteristic is. We know from longitudinal research studies that have gone on following people for 30 or more years, that they're relatively consistent. They don't tend to change. So if you're an introvert as a young child, chances are you're going to be an introvert as an adolescent, introvert as a young adult, introvert as an older adult. Doesn't change. What we find exciting about EQ is the changeability of some of these factors. So even though you may have been an introvert as a child, we've seen people learn to be more assertive as they get older. They still may be introverted in that they prefer to be at home, they want to be in front of their computer, but you can be assertive. You can go and make a sale with someone. You can go tell them all this stuff. It may be hard work for you, but you can do it. You can get the skills and then go back and be an introvert again. And what we found is that even many famous people, we looked at some actors and actresses who are out there, and it's surprising who you would think that they are very much extroverts because they're in the public limelight. In fact, they're really introverts, and they've taught themselves, or because they love to act or be comedians, they go out and do this thing. But then they don't want to go to a party, they want to go home and be quiet, right? So that's what we see as one of the biggest differences, this changeability of it. And that's what's exciting about EQ, that we can train people, whether it's emotional self-awareness, optimism, emotional problem solving, any of these 15 areas, we've seen people change significantly from the way they were before they had the training. So that's one big one. There's another kind of big one I'll mention as well in terms of predicting. We find that things like personality, for example, they don't really predict if you're going to be a good salesperson. It's just one example, but or a good leader, right? Because everyone used to think good salespeople are extroverted. They're out there giving you a sales pitch or whatever, but what we found is that's not necessarily the best salesperson. We found some introverts are excellent salespeople because they learn to ask questions, they have good empathy. They find out what the person wants. So it's the emotional skills that are much better predictors of how you're going to do at something. And now we see books like Quiet, I don't know if you've seen that, it's a big book in America about introverts, right? Showing how introverts can be so successful at so many things. Well, of course, and my argument is it's not whether you're introverted or extroverted that's the key criteria. It's how well you are at assertiveness, optimism, emotional self-awareness, and all these factors that really make the difference.